Hello there everybody, Sam'sTrains here. Welcome back to my second ever live stream. It's very, very exciting, so I'm hoping you're all going to enjoy it as much as you did last week. I want to say first of all, thank you ever so much for last week. It really was great fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it and I hope you did as well. There was well over 200 people, well not well over, about 200 people watching at most last week, which was a lot more than I was expecting and going absolutely crazy, which was amazing to me. I wasn't expecting that either, and it looks as though it's going crazy again today. So that's good news. Keep that up, keep me on my toes. Now I've got on the screen it showing that we're having a little bit of a bad day on the Wi-Fi today, so let me know how it's looking. Is the quality a bit dodgy? Are we buffering at all? I'm hoping that I fixed the synchronization with my mouth today, so let me know how that is. I'm just going to take a quick look at the chat and see what everyone's saying. I did do a little test for this stream earlier on. I just did a little bit of test streaming on another channel just to see if the sync was okay, and it was okay then, so we'll have to see what it is. Yeah, Jake Darling says the stream's a little jumpy. There's not an awful lot I can do about that, unfortunately. Let's see. Yeah, we've got a little bit of lag going. Unfortunately, like I say, there's nothing I can really do about it. Maybe next week I will get in touch with the old TalkTalk and see if there's anything I can do. If it's really, really bad, do let me know. It says there's a lot of pauses and stops. Okay, what I might try and do then... yeah, we've got 2 times 2 times 2 says he's got bad Wi-Fi every day. Michael Alfred has sent a super chat, which is very, very kind. Yeah, I'll have a quick look at this. I might drop us down into 720p then if it's going to be a problem. I hope it isn't going to be a problem, but yeah, it isn't looking good. Yeah, we're only sending at 3 megabits per second right now, which isn't that good. But I think I'll try and move on. I don't know if it's going to mess it up if I drop the resolution or not. Shall we try? Oh, I don't know if I can. Yeah, no, I can't change it. Anyway, let's get started anyway. Okay, so I've already talked about the sound and the technical stuff. Hopefully that's all okay. First of all, before we do anything else, I want to say a massive, massive thank you to last week's super chats. So we had David Smith, Risky Vids, Jake Darling, Chris Linton and War Hero. They all donated on the super chat and that was very, very kind of them. So thank you all for that. That was really, really fantastic. And in fact, I have a request to show from last week from Jake Darling. And if I show you this, there you have it. That's what he asked for, and I'm going to be showing that shortly. I'm going to get it running, but I thought I'd better just explain a little bit more about the super chat. So yeah, it's that little dollar sign in the chat window. You can press it, and basically what that allows you to do is donate to the channel, donate to me, keep the channel going, keep me going. So you know, if the channel is something you enjoy, if it's something you'd like to watch, then that's something you can do if you'd like to support it. Obviously, I'm not going to ask any of you to do it, and if you don't want to, or if you're thinking about it, or if you don't want to, then that's absolutely fine, no problem at all. But anybody who does donate any amount is going to get a massive shout out, and Michael Alfred, I think it was, sent me £5 a minute ago, so later on I'll check and see what request he's got. But that was very, very kind. If you donate any amount, I'll give you a massive shout out, just like I did then. But if you donate £5 or more, you're going to be able to get your very own request shown here live on the show. So don't forget in the message to include what you'd like to see on your request, and I'll get to that, and hopefully it should be good. But for now then, let's talk a little bit about Jake Darling's request. So let me put this back on. So as you can see, he asked for the 2800 class with some BR Mark 1 coaches. So I've tried to get as close as I possibly can with that. So that's all set up, ready to go. I'm going to do that to start with, and then I'll talk about what I'm actually going to do for the rest of the stream today. But let's get this started then, the 2800 class. We'll just have a little run with it, and then I'm going to have to take it off, and then I'll talk about what we're going to be doing after that. So it's disappeared right now. Now this will test whether the cameras are working. We've got the church. There you go. There's a little clue for what's coming up later. I forgot to put my lights on again around the back of the bookcase. So there's a little clue, see if you can make any guesses as to what it's all going to be about. There's another little clue for you, just over there while we wait for the 2800 class. Where is she? Yes, I've moved this camera slightly this time, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. How's it looking, anybody? Are we still lagging a little bit? It does look a little bit like that anyway. I need to be concentrating on this camera work. There we go. So anyway, yep, that's it. That's the 2800 class. I think what I'm going to do is I'll stop it here this time, just here in front of the church, and I'll take it off. And then, yes, I'm going to be trying a bit of a running session today, like a proper running session. So we're going to see how that goes. I have tested it, so hopefully it's all going to work, but obviously because it's live, you're going to have to bear with me. And once again, I do apologise for the bad stream health. Obviously, I did say last week that our internet is fixed, and it's a lot better than it was, but it's still talk. And for anybody who lives in the UK, that's all you really need to know. Once you hear that you're on talk, yeah, you know exactly what I'm dealing with. But yeah, it's been absolutely fine, to be honest. And this is the first time I've had a bad sort of connection with it. I could try and restart the router and do things like that, but you know, it's really probably going to take, you know, 10 minutes to restart the router or whatever, and then there's no certainty I'll get back online at all if you do that. So yeah, I think we'll just try and push through with it. Maybe it'll improve, and if it doesn't, I am sorry, but like I say, that's one of the things that I can't really control. Okay, let's have a quick look at the chat, see how we're going. Yeah, Mark Corner, talk, it's talk. That's the company. Yeah, it is rubbish. Joseph Sedge Beer says it is rubbish. Yeah, it is rubbish. But it was good. This fibre has been a lot better, but obviously right now it's not been all that good. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. We'll have to see. Anyway, so like I said, yeah, today I'm going to be trying to do a bit of a running session, and obviously I wanted to do something fairly interesting for the live stream. I didn't want it to just be a boring running session. So you might, well, I reckon this year I've done quite a lot of pre-grouping locomotives, and you can see one there. There's been the Dean Goods, there's been the H class that Hornby did. I've looked at Adams radial tanks over the last year or so. The Webb coal tank came out this year. So I thought it would be really, really nice to do some sort of running session with pre-grouping locos. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. Hopefully it should be fun. And I'm going to do sort of what I do on the normal running sessions. I'm going to give you a little bit of history on them. I'm going to let you see them run, obviously in the way that I can here on the streams. But yeah, let's give it a go. So the first loco you've already seen. Let's see here, let me take you down to the front. It is the Hornby H class, and I actually promised you a run with the H class because obviously in my review for her she didn't run all that well, and since then I've managed to fix the pickups on her. I've improved those quite a bit. I've given the wheels a clean. I've given her a service basically, which you shouldn't have to do with a brand new loco, but that's what I've done, and she's actually running 100%, well, I would say about 100% now. So let's give her a little bit of juice. She's on the inside line, and I realise you can't see her all that well right now. There you go. Very nice, she's off. And I'm just going to switch the camera over to, I'll tell you what, I'll let you have a look round the back of the bookcase. Ooh, that's very wonky, isn't it? I've got to wave though, there you go. Because what I've got to do now is I've got to ferret down to that point and shut the point ready for the next time she comes by, otherwise she'll derail, of course. So let me just do that. There we go, that's done. Right, hopefully she's at a nice gentle speed. You should be able to see her just coming back round the bookcase today. Oh yeah, there she is. So anyway, so the H-Class started life on the SECR, which is the South Eastern and Chatham Railway, when it was first introduced in 1904 to the design of Harry Wainwright. A total of 66 were produced in total, and the class was generally working on branch lines which operated push-pull services. By the late 1950s and the early 1960s though, the locomotives were starting to be a little bit dated, and that's when really they began to be withdrawn. See if you can see her on here. No, you won't see her. Let's go back to the front then. So now only one exists in preservation, and that is the SECR number 263. So I'll let you watch her run for a little bit longer. There she goes. I don't know if we'll get her on this camera. Wait, I might as well let her leave this shot first. This camera here. Might just see her leave there. Yep, should see her go underneath there. So that's the Hornby H class, and as you can see, there's no messing about on points. She's not done any stopping or anything, so, and the fact that she's doing this live is really, really impressive. Also, David Smith has just sent me £2, which is very, very kind of him, and he wants me to run the Terrier. So, yep, I'll try and do that in a little bit. See if we can get her. Oh, there she is again. Got a wave again. Okay, let's give the H class a little bit of a pause then, shall we? I'll try and stop her in shot, which might be a little bit difficult. There we go. Is she in shot there? I hope so. So that's the H-Class, and really I had to run her today because she's one of my new favourites, I've got to admit. And also, of course, she's running so much more nicely now, so that's pretty cool. Okay, let's go on to the next loco then, and it's this one over near the turntable. And this one is actually in the GNR livery, the Great Northern Railway, and it's the N2. Now the N2s obviously went and joined the LNER Railway a little bit later on down the line. Sorry, I've got to walk in front of the camera. But in this particular livery you're going to see she's actually in the Great Northern colours. So I'll open this point, and she's actually got quite a nasty thing to do here. She's got to reverse out of this siding with the dreaded LNER coaches, which quite famously don't really like point work, so oh dear. Let's see what happens. Let's get her going the right way though. And she actually, when I tested her earlier, she did this perfectly, so any problems now and I will not be too happy. She does stop on the points a bit though, but that's okay. That's not a derailment, so she can get away with that. And she's just disappearing out of shot for a second because I'm going to get her across the express points now and onto the middle line, and that's where she's going to be running. So here she comes now. Sorry that you're watching a blank screen at the moment. Okay, there we go. So this is a Hornby N2, and actually it's the, got to walk in front of the camera again, sorry. It's actually the old, well, it was air fixed to begin with, wasn't it? And mainline also had something to do with it as well. It's been passed around a little bit, but Hornby have got it now, and it's a really, really, really nice model. So, yeah, that's it. That's the Hornby N2, and very nice it is now. The N2 actually originated from the Great Northern Railway, as I've already said, when they were built to the design of Sir Nigel Gresley in 1920, I think it was. And after grouping occurred in 1925, the LNER continued to produce the class until 1929, by which time approximately 107 had been built. And during their working lives, the class operated, I think it was small passenger trains around the London area, normally quite short trains with around 2 coaches. And although 107 were produced in total, I think only 1 was preserved, wasn't it? And the rest were scrapped after their withdrawal. And withdrawal began in around 1955, I believe. So yeah, it's a shame that none of them survived, but well, one of them does. Sorry, yeah, that's not true, is it? One of them survived. So there it is. That is the N2. Very, very nice she is as well. Tell you what, let's try and stop her somewhere near the H-Class. Whoops. Alright, just there should do the trick. Okay, so we've still got to get one more engine out for this first half, so let's do that. Let me figure out which one it is. Let me just turn the page. Alright, so the next one is quite an interesting model. Let me find the best shot for it. Tell you what, I'll put you onto the front and turn the camera. Maybe you'll see it. Anyway, it's the Adams radial tank. Now, one of my Adams radial tanks is the... Which one is it now? Oh, look at those dirty cables. It's the BR Black version, but obviously that isn't a pre-grouping loco, so you can just see it in the left part of the screen. And this one actually had a lot of trouble. I got her started yesterday when I was testing for this running session, and she was running awfully. She really did run badly. Really, really slow. It stank as well. It stank terrible. So I thought, you know, this isn't right. This can't be right. So I took her apart. I took the motor out and powered the motor when it wasn't in the loco, and it seemed to work fine. Just move in front of the camera again. The motor on its own seemed to work absolutely fine. So I thought, well, hang on then. This is a really weird thing to have happen. Oops, I got the wrong point set. So anyway, I didn't really do anything else apart from that. All I really did was put the motor back into the chassis, put the body back on, powered it up, and it seemed to work. It's been 10 times better ever since I did that, and really I didn't do anything at all. So I don't know, it's a really weird one. It's a really weird engine. Wasn't too impressed by the motors in them, to be honest, but it seems to be working okay. So here she comes out of the siding. She's still slow, but it doesn't smell like burning plastic anymore when she runs, which I think has got to be an advantage, hasn't it? So there she goes. Maybe I can film her going round a little bit. If I move this camera a bit. I'm sorry for the shoddy camera work today. There we go. There she goes. And she's nice and slow, so I shouldn't have too much trouble following her around. Okay. So let's have a little info on the Adams radial then. So these, of course, as you can tell by the name, these were designed by William Adams. And they were first built in 1882, so very, very old really, and they sported the unusual 442 wheel configuration. I'm just waiting for her to come into this shot now, so again, sorry you're left looking at a blank screen, but She is quite slow. She's on her way though, I can see she's on her way. So these were also known as the 415 class originally, and they hauled suburban passenger services until most of the class was scrapped shortly after the First World War. 71 of these were produced in total, and while a few more were obtained and used by the Southern Railway, most were gone before 1930, unfortunately. One of the class does survive in preservation though, and it's housed at the Bluebell Railway, and it's number 30583. It hasn't been in operation for quite a few years, but apparently it is waiting to be overhauled, which is, you know, that's nice, because it would be fantastic to see one of these things run again. Yeah. Again, I'm sorry about the lag, it's not ideal, but I'm trying to think about what I can really do during the stream. I don't think there's a lot I can really do apart from just hope that it gets better. Yeah, bizarre, I really don't know what it could be. At moments it's okay, but at others it's not. Anyway, is it kind of watchable? Is it watchable or is it really, really terrible? I don't know at the moment. Anyway, I'm going to get the other two started and we'll have a bit of a running session, but I'm going to wait until the Adams radial tank comes into shot. But I might as well just go over here, and if you notice that I'm moving around a bit slowly, it's because I've got this microphone wire that I've got to not trip over. So, right, let's get this started then. Which one am I controlling here? That should be the N2. Yep, that's the N2 moving. Really, really nice, she is. And of course, the lovely H-class. Alright, cool. Now this is going to be fun because I've got to juggle 3 cameras. Let's have a look. There we go. I'm sorry for this awful shot, by the way. The camera seems to be a little bit unstable, unfortunately. I'm sorry that the lag is terrible. I can't believe that, you know, because it's been absolutely fine. The Wi-Fi, since we've upgraded it, has been brilliant. But maybe Friday nights is the night where it all goes kaput. Mark 2E0PIA has just sent £2 and he wants to see the Deltic run. So I'll see how we get on with that. Obviously, I'll have to give it to the people who've donated 5. But we'll see. Hopefully there'll be time for that. I'm sort of following the N2. I've not really looked at any of the other engines. Have they all disappeared? So thank you very much, Mark, that was very kind of you, and I will go through all of the donations later on, so if you send one in and I didn't notice it, don't worry, I will check at the end and I won't miss anybody out. Right, there's that H-class. I thought I'd better follow the H-class around a little bit. And she's got some chocolate and, what would you call them, chocolate and cream coaches. So not the usual stock with her, but like a few people pointed out, the Southern coaches didn't seem to suit her too much, so yeah, I thought this would be better. She looks alright with them, I think. I was going for the sort of LBSC vibe. We're not seeing much of the Adams radial tank, to be honest. I don't know where she's gone, really. Can anybody see her? Where on earth has she got to? I really can't see her. Is she round the back? Oh no, yeah, she has. We've just missed her. We've just missed her going round the back. Anyway. Let's head down to the front and I'm going to stop these, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the running session halfway through and then we'll do some more of the live showy bits. So I'll do a bit of a Q&A and we'll talk about some stuff, and then we'll take a break, and later on I'll come back and we'll do the other half of the running session. If the Wi-Fi isn't too bad. It's not even on Wi-Fi actually, we're on a wired connection now, so bizarre. Anyway, here she comes. Here comes the Adams radial tank. I've sped her up a touch so that she actually arrives in shot. There we go. Oh, she is nice. If nothing else, it's the livery that does it for me on that one. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, the H-class, and I think she's definitely proved herself now. I mean, you can tell how nicely she's just been running. And while we're waiting for the other engine, the N2, I'll start her doing a bit of a crawl. You won't be able to see how well she's crawling, but as you can see, she is actually moving forwards there, which is unbelievable. Right, let's stop the N2. There we go. So there's a little bit of a crawl for you. It is extremely slow, but it's also stable, which is the important thing. So she wasn't like that to start with. She was a lot worse than that, but now it's a lot better. So let me step over the camera, and we'll have a little bit of a break from running, and we'll come back to that in a second. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a bit of a Q&A in just a second, so if you've got any questions for me, I will be looking at them. I thought as well we ought to do some Wall of Fame stuff, because I don't really talk too much about the Wall of Fame. So let's get to that. Let's have a quick look. So what I thought I would do is I had quite a collection of them still to print off. So I've done that, I've printed a few, and I thought I might as well just show them to you. Now, you're not going to be all that close because, you know, if I go close up to the camera, it's going to be out of focus. But very quickly, we've got Toy Bonnie 1919, one of the classic Hornby 040s there. That one came in the other day. That was very nice. And I won't put these up live, I'll put them up later on. But then we've got Will V. It looks like maybe the Daylight or something like that. It's a little bit like the Daylight, not quite though. Yeah. We've got Shine O, an American loco it looks like. Correct me if I'm wrong, it might not be American, but yeah. And I am waiting for your questions, by the way, so as soon as I've done this, I'll be answering them. So if you've got any to ask, please feel free to. We've got Simon W, another 040, this time it's a Great Western, a GWR1. So that's cool, thanks for that one. We've got Sodor Arts Productions, although I couldn't fit his full username on there. That's sort of like, I think he said it was a cardboard layout he'd been building, which I thought was really cool. So it shows what you can do with not a lot of, you know, space or not a lot of resources. That's cool. We've got Bryn H, who has done sort of like an old-fashioned looking shot, which is really cool. That's cool, that is. So I like that, that's nice. We've got Charlie K, who made this Sam'sTrains, and it says, "Welcome back to the railway." And you probably won't be able to read this, but there's a gravestone. Where is the gravestone? Just there, and it says, "R.I.P. Gadwell, rest in peace Gadwell." And of course, Gadwell in real life got blown up during the Second World War, I think it was. So that's why, presumably, he's saying R.I.P. This one's from Chris Chubby. It looks like it's at the NRM next to Mallard, and there's a couple of them dabbing just down there, as you can see, so that's very cool. We've got Austin L, which is also showing Mallard. There you go. Looks good to me. Looks like an interesting colour. It almost looks like Silverlink or something on the photo. And then we've got BB Rodriguez. Rodriguez, I can never say that properly, but a lovely drawing of what looks like an A3 at a glance. Very nice. And then we've got Ben J with Hercules, a little Great Western tank engine. So thanks for those, folks. It's about time I got those printed off, I think. So there you go. That's going to be put up on the wall. That whole pile is going to be put up on the wall over the next few days. In fact, I'll probably do it tomorrow. But thanks for those. That's awesome. Right, let's take a little look at the Q&A then. Mark Warner says Gadwell was in the disguise of Sir Ralph Wedgwood when it was blown up. Okay, so yes, it did go through a name change as well. Blah, blah, blah. See if anyone's got anything to ask. There's a lot of discussion going on here about, I don't know, all sorts of stuff. Can you show the full Wall of Fame, says Adil. Yes, I'll try and do that at some point. It's not ideal on the stream because it's so big. You'd need 3 cameras to film the whole thing. But yes, I will try and do that at some point. What's your favourite book? Blimey. I don't know, actually. Favourite book? I always like the Harry Potters. I'm thinking storybooks. I don't know. There's a lot of good books out there. London Underground / Transport. Are you doing any? Yes, I've managed to pick up a London Transport pannier tank, which was really, really cool. I don't know if I've shown it yet. Have I shown that one yet? But she's absolutely gorgeous. I've just seen from RWS Baden, I think his name's Rich, has just sent $13.20 and he wants to see the Berkshire run. So thank you ever so much for that. That's fantastic. I will get her running later on then. I'm going to have probably 2 breaks then today to run the second half of this running session and then to run the request. So that'll be cool. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very, very much. If it is Rich, I think it is, for that. Are you going to make any videos on heritage railways next year? In fact, I've got one coming up. I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but a few weeks ago we went to the Nene Valley Railway and there weren't any steamers running, unfortunately, but there was Class 31 running. So I did take a little bit of videoing of that and I went around the sheds and the goods yard and took some video there. So I've got that video and I'm going to put that up at some point, so hopefully that should be good. Oval Production says Pannier or 14XX. 14XX I think it's got to be. Yeah, not much of a question. That was an easy one. Do you think you'll ever make a big model railway, get together maybe on an exhibition, says Sodor Arts Productions. Yeah, me and TARDIS Rescue talked about doing that. Obviously with things like that it never really happened, but yeah, that's something we would like to do. That would be fantastic. Sam, what do you love most about model railways? Well, I've got to say for me it's got to be the community. I mean, just the fact that I sit up here in the loft and just literally film my trains and talk about them, and that there are so many people interested and so many people who want to watch them, that's amazing to me. So I think that's got to be it, to be honest. That's got to be the reason. Will you ever get any live steam locos of any gauge? Well, that would be fun. That would definitely be fun. I don't think there are any sort of ready to run live steam locos for 00 gauge at the moment. Obviously in other gauges that would be amazingly fun, but you know, I don't have the track for that, so it would really have to be 00 gauge if I had to do that. But yeah, that would be fun, and if there was one out there for a good price I would definitely try it, although I'm completely new to it, so I don't know how that would go. Owen Wenters, where did you get Mallard? Mallard it says, but I think he means Mallard. My Mallard I think it came on Amazon actually. My first Mallard, my railroad one, bought it on Amazon. So I don't know why, I've never bought on Amazon since, not trains anyway. Will you try to nab a Bachmann Diesel and maybe Paxton when he comes out? Yeah, that ought to be fun. Again, they are quite hard to get over here in the UK because it's more sort of Hornby that caters for Thomas over here in the UK. But yeah, sure, if I can get them over here for a reasonable price, then certainly I'll try that. 93 people are here because they have nothing to do. Thanks, Mark. That's not very kind of you. The Doncaster K3, do you plan on buying limited edition locos such as the Betty Well Tank by DJ Models? Yeah, that ought to be good. I haven't pre-ordered one or anything like that. In fact, I don't know if you can pre-order them yet. But yeah, if you can, I might definitely look into it. I can't really remember what that looks like. I'm sure I have seen a picture though. I saw one about what are you doing for Poppy Day, Daniel Anderson. I think I answered that last week. We were going to go out for a meal and maybe go and watch a parade or something. And I've got a Poppy here, and I was going to wear that for the stream, but while I was practicing, I sort of brushed past this light, and the pin went straight into my side, and I got a little bit of a sort of gun wound on the side. So I thought it would be safer for everybody if I put that there, because I don't want to get injured, even in a small way, while I'm live. So yeah, I took that off, and it's still there, so we're still remembering with that. Okay, so let's see what else I'm going to talk about here. Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of a 5-minute break. Let's have a quick look at the situation with the bit rate. I'm aiming for 6 megabits per second, and at the moment it's sort of fluctuating a bit between none and 6, so that's really bizarre. What I think I might do then is go to a break. I'm gonna take the plunge and restart the router, which is a little bit scary, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm gonna send it to a break right now, and I'll be right back in 5. Basically what I'm gonna do is put the engines that are already out. Let me show you just in case you've only just tuned in. I'm gonna stick those back into their sidings where they started, and then I'll come back and we'll do the second half of that running session. So thank you all for watching so far. I won't be long. I'll be back very soon, and thank you all for your donations so far. That's fantastic. I'm going to restart the router, so it might take 5 minutes, it might take longer. Hopefully by the time I've got these engines where they need to be, we'll be ready to go again. But if not, bear with me. Hopefully it won't be long. Now, I was literally about to do it, and then I saw that the bit rate went back up again to 6, but no, it's no good. So I'll be back soon. Thank you all, and I won't be long. I hope. Right, is that better? I hope it's better, and that means that it's the router's fault. The router. Anyway, I've restarted it, and we're sending out at a solid, well, we were sending out at a solid 6 megabytes per second, so hopefully that's okay. Are you guys getting this a bit better now? Don't know. Hopefully. There is a little bit of delay, so I'm sitting here like an idiot actually waiting for you to get back, but it looks like it's a bit better. Let me double check. I think it is. Yeah, that's a bit, yeah, it does look like it's better actually, so hopefully we'll be okay. It's better than it was. It's definitely better than it was. Okay, so I'm going to have a quick look at the super chat so far, and in fact, how do I do this? Yeah, I remember. So I'm going to figure out who's sent in donations so far, and if you have thank you, I should say. That's the big thing. It's really not something you have to do, but the fact that you've decided you want to is really, really kind of you. So far we have Michael Alfred, who sent £5. So very kind of you. Let me know what you'd like to run, Michael. If I don't see you in the chat, we'll have to do that next week if I don't manage to catch you, but if I do, that's fine. David Smith wants to see the Terrier. Well, what a bit of good planning that is, because we've got the Terrier and she's ready to go. So hopefully the Terrier should be coming up later on. Mark wants to see, Mark 2E0PIA wants to see the Deltic. So the Deltic is a good choice, I think, so we'll try and do that. And Rich Baden wants to see the Berkshire. So I think that's a very good call. So what I'm going to do is, in fact, I'll take you to this camera. What I was supposed to do during the break is turn this camera around so that it films the Terrier, but obviously, for some reason, I didn't do that. I was a bit preoccupied because I shut the internet off and then it wouldn't come back on again, and that panicked me somewhat. But anyway, we've got the Terrier. Of course, I don't know whether you'd call. I think you would call this a pre-grouping livery, wouldn't you? Yeah, I would have thought so. Is it the Terrier next we've got to do? I don't want to get the wrong one out because that'll scupper my order. Yes, it's the Terrier. Okay, so there she is. You can just see her poking out from behind the beam there. She's got a little bit of a good strain this time because obviously I think the last lot was all passenger stock, wasn't it? So nice to have a bit of a change there. So here comes the Terrier. I think I've opened the points. If I haven't, we'll know soon enough. No, obviously I haven't. I thought I did. Oh no, I didn't. Honestly, I tell you what, this whole internet business has knocked me for six a little bit. I wasn't expecting it to be dodgy like that, but I think I'll restart the router before next week's show and then I've not got to worry. Okay, come on then, little Deltic. That's definitely not a Deltic, is it? Little Terrier, I should have said. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut those points again straight away, because if I forget, another engine's going to come along. Oops, that other engine might be the end too, actually. She's just started up. Right, let me try and film around here. Sorry about the camera movement. Now this Terrier is actually going straight to the inside line, so we're going to do that now. Open these points up, and then she's going to have to back up and get into the inside line. I hope my wire's not in your way, by the way. So it's just a small freight train, and actually there was a massive breakdown with my Terrier not long ago. And it happened on a video, so you guys have still got to see that video yet, so I won't talk about it much. But put it this way, this Terrier is very, very lucky to still be running. I had to do quite a major repair to get her to work again. But as you can tell, she is working fine, so phew, it's sort of panic over. Okay, right then. Ooh, it looks like this wagon's come off. Good job I spotted that. Okay, let me get the Terrier started. And this one's Whitechapel, by the way. You probably won't get a chance to see that because obviously most of my cameras are too far away. So sorry to walk across in front of it again. I've got a little bit of history on the Terriers for you, so here we go. So the proper name for the Terrier is the LB and SCR A1 class. And this one was designed by, who was it? Well, William Stroudley, that's the chap. And they were built between 1872 and 1880. And the A1s originally hauled commuter trains in the southeast of London during the LB and SCR years. And then they were inherited, of course, by the Southern Railway, which would have been in 1923, where actually they remained in traffic. Even though they were sort of small tank engines at that time, they remained in traffic, which is really, really nice to hear. Withdrawal of the cast did, though, begin several years later, and the first was in 1901, I think, actually, which wasn't later, of course, but I don't believe that was withdrawn because it was old. It probably had a different sort of problem. I'm no expert, but by 1964, at least, all members of the class were withdrawn, and luckily 10 have been preserved, though, which is a massive number, isn't it? To say I don't think I've ever seen one. But there she goes, and what a lovely loco it is as well. Oh. What a lovely Terrier. I'm glad she's not broken. She was broken very badly, but she's all right now. Okay, just waiting for her to pop into shot. Nearly there. I think I'll stop her at the front, actually, shall I? There she is. Give her a rest. Let's not let her burn out again, shall we? There we go. Okay, so that's the Terrier. She is lovely, and I mean, I was in two minds when she broke down, just to let her stay broken down and not do anything about it. But when you see what a lovely engine she is, you can't do that. You've got to try, haven't you? Okay, let's talk about the next engine coming up then, and you've seen her already, I would expect. This is the Dean Goods, and of course this is the Oxford Rail, so this is the second engine from Oxford Rail today. And I think just because of the way I've set this camera up, we're going to be better off reversing her out of this siding. So hello, I don't know if you're going to see me here. I'll wave anyway, just in case. So, yep, I'm going to reverse her out, which is always a bit dangerous, especially with coaches. And she has got coaches, as you can see, 3 Great Western coaches in that sort of chocolate and cream livery. I couldn't not run coaches with her. I know really she's meant for goods, but I did her with goods in her review, so I thought it might be nice to let her run with some passenger stock this time, so that's exactly what she's going to do. And, oh dear, we've got the Adams radial tank moving as well, which is not a good sign. So got some points to change, hang on. Oh, my point work isn't very good, I've got to tell you that. Normally all this happens in a running session and I can edit it out, but no doing that today, of course. Right, let's get her reversing. There we go. Somebody yell if you see a derailment. Hopefully we won't get one. And she's just going to disappear out of shot for a second now. And as quick as I can, I'm going to stop her. I'm going to change the point and send her forwards again for you. And then what we've got to do is get her onto the middle line, I believe. And then we've got the inside line free for the engine that you've all seen in a siding a minute ago. I did show it. But here she's going to run past you again. So there she goes, the Oxford Rail Dean Goods. There she comes. Okay, I'm just going to get the point set then so that she will come over onto the middle line, and then I'll read you a bit of history on them. I do like the Dean Goods, even though the model itself is apparently, according to people who know more than I do, apparently it's not very accurate, but oh, she's stopped. Oh, that's not good. Let me give her a push. Oh, that's definitely not good. Go on. Ooh, that was weird. Now, you have to ask then, is it the track or is it the loco? I suppose we'll see in a minute. Anyway, so the Dean Goods was also known as the GWR 2301 class, and they were introduced in 1883 to the design of William Dean for goods work on the railway. The class was produced for a little bit over 15 years, I think it was. Oh, I've just missed her there, haven't I? Whoops. They were produced for a little bit over 15 years, and in that time, 260 were built. 54 of the class survived until 1948, when they were required by British Railways, and as time went by they were eventually replaced by the standard Class 2s, which of course were a little bit more modern. And the last was withdrawn in 1957, being 60 years old, which is quite a lot of course. Here she comes now. Hopefully you'll see her change points now. Change lines, I'm sorry, across those express points. If she derails, I'll have to dash over there. Anyway, only one of the class was preserved and the remainder, quite sadly, were scrapped, which is a shame. Okay, yep, she did it. I think she's done it. That last coach is just over there. Yeah, perfect. Phew. Phew. Phew is definitely the word. Okay, shut the points then. And she's going to just run by you now, if I give her some more juice. I think I'll stop her in shot then. That was strange that she stopped though. You didn't see it on camera, but I had to go around and give her a push. So, I suppose we'll find out whether it's my track work or not. It isn't normally though. I don't normally get problems with the track. Okay, there we go. She's stopped. Very nice. Okay, there's one more engine to show you then, and I'm just going to turn my piece of paper over so that I can show you which one it is. And you've already seen it because I showed it by accident a minute ago. Well, not by accident. But there it is. This is the Webb coal tank, and it's a bit hard to tell which livery this is because it doesn't actually say on the side of the loco, but I'll tell you all about that in a second. But first of all, let me open this point. There we go, and I can't remember which way I've set the controller to go in, so if she starts reversing, give me a yell, because she's going to crash if she does that. I'm just having a quick look at the chat. Doesn't Sam have a Wi-Fi problem? Chalky Pie 00. Yes, there was a Wi-Fi problem, but I restarted the router and it seems to be better now. Although, of course, I'm not at home watching it, I'm doing it, so I'm hoping there isn't a problem anymore. Oh, she's gone backwards. Oh, whoops. And you couldn't see it before, but she's got some of those tiny little four-wheeled coaches, which I absolutely love. And it looks like they've just gotten across the points safely, which is very good to hear. Right, I've got to shut the point, of course, so that's what I'm doing now. And I'm watching just to see if she does stop where she did a second ago. I'm hoping she won't. And let's see her go past the Dean Goods engine then. Of course, you wouldn't have really seen these running together in real life very often, I suppose. But on my railway, you do. So there she goes, just past there. So anyway, the Webb coal tanks were introduced in 1881 when 300 were produced for the LNWR to the design of F.W. Webb. The engines were apparently designed to be very cheap to build, and they served on the western region of the United Kingdom for several years, and some well into the BR era, and obviously there is a BR version of this coming out, I think. If not already, it might have already come out. However, by 1958 all members of the class had been withdrawn, and there is only one preserved, which had the BR number 58926, but it was originally 1054 on the LNWR. So there she goes. Let's get a few shots of her running, shall we? Wait for her to come in here. She's a real beauty as well. And she's always run fantastically. Never a single problem with her performance-wise. So I absolutely love it. Looks good with the coaches as well, actually. I don't think that's something I've really done before. But there she goes. Okay, shall we get the rest of them running then? So I think I will set you up for the church cam. There we go. Let's get the Dean Goods going again then. And assuming she runs properly, she'll be okay like that. So here she goes. With her Great Western coaches. Maybe she was trying to protest about having to pull coaches. That's probably it. Okay, and let's go down to the front then, where that terrier is waiting very, very patiently, I must admit. So we'll get that terrier going. Let me just grab my water. And she has got a Hornby Dubelo brake van, which I modded to have Hornby couplings, which was quite exciting. There we go. Little fact I thought you might enjoy there. Okay, let's have a quick running session then. Off goes the terrier into the distance. Oh, she is nice. Okay, we've just gone over 100 viewers, so that's fantastic. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a nice shot of the Dean Goods. Look at her. Gorgeous. I hope no one's too cross that I've put some coaches on her. It should be Goods wagons, of course it should. I mean, it's called the Dean Goods for goodness sake. But never mind. You know, hopefully she looks nice. And there she goes, just passing the Webb coal tank. Absolutely fantastic. Now, I did see a minute ago that there was another super chat, but I didn't get a chance to see who it was that had sent it. So we have again War Hero. He asked a question. I'll read his message. He put, I asked this question last stream, but I got too late. But any plans of getting any more American locos like the General or Big Boy? Also, could you run Thomas with a mixed train? So yes, I'll do that. And Jake Darling wants to see any chance of the BR Blue Tornado with a long rake of Pullmans, 5 or 6. So yep, that is one I might be able to do. I don't know if I'll get time to do all of those today, but obviously if I don't, the first thing next stream will be to do those. But I will be doing some more today. Right, where are we? I'm not doing a very good job of following these, am I? There goes the terrier. Let's have a look around the back of the bookcase. Oop, got to wave. Oh, that is a terrible shot, isn't it? Basically, that camera I made a little Velcro strap for, and it's stuck onto the wall with that. So it's very rough and ready, but it seems to work okay. I think I just need to straighten it up really, don't I? Yes, not ideal that. Right, let's just wait for the Dean Goods to go past. We'll follow her around to the front, I think. There she goes towards the bridge. Again, I'm sorry about this big IA watermark on this camera. I can't seem to get rid of it. Alright, let's stop these before that terrier gets too far away. In fact, I'll probably reverse the terrier back, and then we haven't got to wait for her to come all the way around the room. Right, I'll send the terrier into reverse then. The Dean Goods has actually just arrived, so stop her just there. The Webb coal tank is just there. What a lovely run of that one. And the terrier is quite, I think she seems embarrassed about this, reversing into the shot. It's not something I do too often. There she goes. Fantastic. Okay, so I'll leave those there for the time being. Just step over them very carefully. And we'll have another break in a few minutes. and I'll move those off, and I'll get some of those very, very interesting requests sorted out. There we go. So that was it for the little running session anyway. Do let me know in the comments what you think about that. If it's a bit boring, if it's a bit slow for the stream, I won't do that again. But, you know, it was worth a try. Hopefully it will be enjoyable. Okay, let's look at some more of what you guys are saying. Jake, darling, he fixed it. Are you on about the Wi-Fi? It still looks all right to me, so hopefully we're okay. Yeah, it's one thing after another. So last week we had the bad sync. Today we've got lag, but hopefully then next week it will be proper. It will be running properly. But I think it's all right now anyway. Right. I don't know her. Run the Princess Royal. Yeah, the Princess is a nice one. I might do her one day. Jacob Johnson, what's your favourite Wren locomotive? Oh, that's an easy one. It's this one. I won't pick it up because if I break it on stream, that will be really, really embarrassing. But this is the West Country class. It's Plymouth, although it's not really because of the name. I like it so much. It's quite a rare one. There weren't many of these around. But it's made of solid metal, it's really heavy, and the detail on it is fantastic as well. And it's not the best runner in the world, but I just love it, and it's just fantastic. But yes, this is all the Wren stuff, as you can see. And I might run some Wren stuff on these streams, but you know, that's a bit dodgy because, you know, with them being worth quite a bit. Some of them are worth quite a bit. No, so this one, for example, the standard class 4 isn't worth an awful lot, but some of them are, and so if they stop derailing and stuff, it would be a little bit scary. But no, stuff like what we've been running today should be absolutely fine. Okay, let's see what else. Do Stepney. Yeah, I haven't got a Stepney. In fact, the Terry you've just seen is the only one I've got, but that would be interesting to get. James Pearson is saying hello again. Laserjet, do you have the Duchess of Hamilton? No, I don't have Hamilton, but I've got one very similar. Can't remember what her name is, but it's the red one with the streamlining, but it's just not called the Duchess of Hamilton for some reason. I just want to be noticed, please, says Trackmaster Kale. So okay, hopefully that's that done. What is your favourite LMS loco in your collection? Oh, blimey. I think again it might be the Coronation class actually. I think those are just absolutely fantastic. Maybe without the streamlining actually, although I like both, so yes, it's hard to say actually. You'll have to do a Merchant Navy, West Country and Battle of Britain running session at some point, says SDJR7F88. Yeah, that would be good. I did one last year I think, but I've definitely gotten a couple more since then, so yeah, it might be good to maybe wait till I've got even a couple more. And not that I'm planning on getting any more, but inevitably I probably will. So yes, that would be a really good idea. The LMS Ginty, Sam, when's the giveaway? That is still going on. It's going to be ending at the end of November, so you've still got time to make entries. If you didn't know already, the giveaway is to win a Bachmann Spencer, which I haven't got with me today, but it's over there. You won't see it, but it's here, believe me. And there's also some Hornby wagons to win, so go and check that. Go and find that video if you want to enter, if you haven't already, and hopefully that'll be fun. But you've got all of November to enter, so it's not ending just yet. Henry Fan 375, can I get a shout out? David Smith, thanks for running the Terrier. Maybe you should think about installing a fourth circuit of track so you can do a big 4 running day. Okay, well the reason I haven't done a 4th circuit, as much as I would love to, is back here. If I had a 4th bit of track down here, I would have to pull this desk out quite a bit further, and it's already quite far forwards as it is. And also there's places where the beams leave a narrow enough gap for 3 tracks, but not really a wide enough gap for 4. So I think 3 is my maximum here, but one day if I get off the carpet, you know, that might happen. So that'll be fun. There is a Hornby Stepney on Spock, Sam, for £40. Oh, that's good. Well, if anyone wants a Hornby Stepney, that's where you need to go. Says Charles Wallace Banbury. Sam, I broke my Spencer, says Anonymous Electricity. Well, I think they're quite easy to break, to be honest, aren't they? I know the motors aren't great, that's for sure. Will you get some German locos someday, says Janice Bolt. Yes, maybe. I haven't planned to. I think I've got one. I think is it a G4? It's an 060. I don't know. It's Fleischmann. I don't know a lot more than that, but I think that might be German. I think that was. Charles Wallace Banbury is still on about the Hornby Stepney for £40, so I think he desperately wants someone to buy that. Okay, one more then. Eric Ramirez Gaming 101. What do you like most about steam engines or the hobby in general? Certainly you must like something about the hobby. So yeah, I already said the community, which is brilliant. But I guess that's not what you're really asking. I think it's along the same lines as what Barry Davies says. The fact that you can get all of these tiny little models. There's hundreds to choose from. Oh, there's a fly. Where did that come from? Anyway, hundreds of them. You can get them anywhere, but at the end of the day, they all work. They all run. And it's just like the real thing, but on a tiny little scale. And I think there's something fantastic and exciting about that. So that's to me what is so good about all of this. And I think, you know, that's the big catch, isn't it? It's like a miniature world. I mean, mine isn't like a miniature world. I mean, obviously that isn't very realistic, but just the fact that you can build things in miniature and then make them work. I think that was what was the exciting thing to me. Anyway. What we're going to do now is I'm going to go for another short break. Hopefully it won't be too long. I'm going to put these locos back where they came from, and then I'm going to put some of these requests on. So I've only got 3 tracks, as I said, so I can only run 3. But what we've got, because let's see here, let's figure this out. So we have David has already asked to see the Terrier run, so I've done that. We've got Rich wanting to see the Berkshire, so I'll do that. Let me write that down. So we want the Berkshire. I'll just write Berk. That's not trying to offend anybody, but I'll just shorten it. Thomas with a mixed train. So I suppose by mixed train you mean some sort of goods and passengers mixed together. So okay. And then Jake wants to see the BR Blue Tornado. Okay, so that'll be cool. So thank you very much for all your donations. That is absolutely wonderful and very, very kind of you. Not necessary either, by the way. But the fact that you guys have decided that you want to help me out and do that is amazing. So thank you for that. We're going to be running a little bit later today. Obviously, it's about 5 to 6 now, but there might be another 10-15 minutes still to do. But that's okay. I'm having fun, and hopefully you are as well. So I'll go to another quick break. I'm sorry if it's dragging on. If you want me to end, by the way, I will. But I'm enjoying it, so we might as well keep going. Okay, I'll be back in a few then, folks. See you in a sec. Okay, I'm back. Ooh, I'll tell you what, I'm getting my exercise today. Right, is the mic working? I've got to check. Okay, sorry about that. Obviously, there's quite a bit of shunting to do there. I've put all the other engines back into their various sidings. If I show you here, you can see we've got the Dean's Goods back in there, and over in the background you can see we've got the Terrier back where she belongs. At the front then I've got these requests on, and blimey, they're not very well framed, are they? Sorry about that. Right, unfortunately it's bad news on the Berkshire. I have got her out, and I better frame her better than this. The problem is with the Berkshire, she's DCC fitted, and I assumed I would be able to just cheekily run her on DC and that would be okay, but unfortunately not. I mean, well, I'll try again, but unfortunately, nothing. It looks like I really do have to run her on DCC. And the problem with that is I need to get my computer, this computer over here, switched on. You can see it just here in the bottom, and you know, it takes ages to get this thing on, and I've got to connect up the DCC controller and everything. So I've put her out. I might try and get that rigged up next week if we do some DCC stuff, and then maybe the Berkshire will be one to do. But right now she's only able to sort of sit there. But what I have managed to do is get Thomas going, and because you wanted to see a mixed train, I've put some of these Smith's crisp snacks and nuts on, of course, and then of course his very own Annie and Clarabelle at the back, so hopefully that would be nice. Then of course the BR Blue Tornado with 5 Pullman coaches. I would have put on 6, but this set has just got 5 in it anyway. Oops, hang on, I've just seen the Terrier start to move. hang on. Just got to shut these points, otherwise the Terrier will start to move as well. Okay, so here we go then. This one is the A1 Tornado in the BR Blue, as requested, with some Pullman coaches. So I am really, really sorry that the Berkshire's not going today, but I will do my best to get her to run next time for you, and hopefully that'll be okay. So here we go, and this was a great choice, by the way, Tornado. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic looking. Yep, the way she runs is just absolutely brilliant. And if I take you around to the front, you can see the Berkshire again. And I've left my bit of paper at the front as well, so I better grab that. Sorry about this, going in front of the camera. Okay. Right, let's see if I can... Ooh, Thomas is going quick, isn't he? Blimey. He's sped himself up since the last time I looked at him. What a strange combination that is. But they look happy enough together. There's Thomas with a mixed train. I don't know if I've done that before, have I? Oh, got a wave. Can't remember. But it looks good anyway. I ought to do that more often. He's not that much of a powerful engine, to be honest, so you don't want to be putting too many coaches and things onto him, but certainly what he's got at the moment is absolutely fine. So there he goes. And there is, of course, the fantastic Tornado in the blue. I don't think she's painted blue in real life anymore, is she? But I think, oh, you don't want to be looking at me. That's the one I meant to click on. But I think at the time I bought the model, she was in BR blue, although don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. Right, let's wait for her to come out and go under this bridge. Come on, there we go. Fantastic. Oh, we've just missed Thomas. Okay, let me go around to the front then, and I'm going to stop these for you. Oh, if I don't trip over the mic. Nearly tripped over the wire then. Okay, let's stop Tornado just here then. She's run very nicely. I tell you what I did notice last time I serviced her, it wasn't that recently, but it was perhaps a couple of months ago, I noticed that there was quite a bit of sparks coming out of her motor, which is generally a really bad sign. I don't like to see that, of course. But it seemed to run fine, so I'm not done anything about it, but you know, that might be something that will need replacing one day. And here comes Thomas. There he goes. Again, sorry about the Berkshire, but I have put her on, and I did even go so far as to give her a try, but unfortunately she definitely needs the DCC controller, and if I've got time next week, I will do that and get the computer set up and do some DCC running with her, but for now you've just got to see us sitting there, so sorry about that. Okay, so let me just do a double check on the chat. Let's see what everybody's saying. I hope you're all having fun. N21744 says he had a footplate ride on Tornado in blue. Oh right, so perhaps, that's fantastic by the way. So perhaps you know when she was in blue then. I think, was it a few years ago that she was in blue? It's not been recently, has it? Slightly obsessed with trains. Sam, do you have an 8F? Yeah, I've got, I think, 2 of them. One of them's here. This one is the Wren one. And this one is number 8042. The other one I've got is a Hornby one, and I'm afraid I can't tell you what the running number of that one is, but it's a little bit more detailed, that one. I've done a review of it if you want to see it. YouTube, why didn't you give me a notification, says Hades R01. I don't know about that. Last week it was really good at sending out notifications, but I don't know what it's been like today. But it's Friday nights at 5 o'clock GMT, so that's the time if you want to set a reminder or anything. Get a Pendolino train set, says George Davis. Yeah, I've never had that. I bought the Virgin 221, which is close to a Pendolino, but obviously it's not the same thing, and I enjoyed that, to be fair, so maybe that will be a good one to see. Vinny Zamet says, hi mate. Hello Vinny, hope you're alright. Oh, Shazam Finn Trains says, sandwich the 14XX with auto coaches. That's a good idea. So you get the 2 auto coaches and you put the 14XX little Great Western engine in between them. That's very cool. RS, yeah, Rich, the CV value 29 value set to only work on the Berk. Yeah, I think what happened was when I first got that Berkshire, the DCC chip was playing up, so I reset it. So yes, if value 29 is set to DCC only by default, then yes, it probably will be. Sorry about that. I'll fix that for next time. Let's see, George Davis and some Class 57s on a rail tours on layout. Okay, okay, fair enough. Let's see, Jake Darling, no, Sam, the Singer 456. She only carried blue for a short time, so that's talking about Tornado. Yes, she's definitely not in blue at the moment, I know that. But yeah, I think when I bought that model, the reason I bought it was because that was a livery that she was in at the time. I think, I'm not too sure about that. Yes, please run the 9F, the 8F, I'm sorry, so yes, I'll do that at some point. Yeah, there's lots of people asking for stuff. That would be cool. I will do some more running next time, but we're almost out of time. I thought what I'd better do is talk a little bit about what's coming up next week over the videos and things. So tomorrow you're going to get a bit of an instalment of Thomas, so that's the big groan from everybody. Cue the big groan. I haven't done a Thomas video in a while though, so I thought we owe that to the kids around here, or to the big kids of course, so that'll be good. I'm going to be doing a food related video, which should be interesting, and it was really good fun to film that one, so I'm not going to say any more about that, just food is the theme, that's it. And then on Wednesday I'm going to be doing the 5th and final request session. I am going to be stopping doing those request sessions because the thing is, back when I had a smaller channel, it was the perfect thing to do, but now that I'm up over 14,000 subscribers, I can only sort of show 0.1% of people's requests, which is really, really tiny, and it's not fair. You know, there's kids asking to have their requests shown and I don't get round to it, and that's really sad. So I'm going to be doing requests on the live streams instead, and through the super chat function, and obviously, yeah, that means that you're effectively got to pay for it, which I really hate to say. But all that is really, it just means that I'm going to get less, so it's fairer, and I can, you know, I can sort of keep on top of it. And that way, if there's anybody really, really desperate to have something shown, then they can do it, and that's fair enough. But, you know, I would get hundreds of comments on those request sessions, and it wasn't fair to have to only take 20 of them, so yeah, that's why I'm stopping that. But as I say, if you've got anything you'd like to see run, drop me a message on these live streams and I'll see what I can do. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that, folks. That'll just about do it. Again, I'm really sorry for the technical difficulties. Yes, that was a pain, and it seems there was no problem because I just restarted the router and it was fine after that. So, I might have to restart the router before I start next time, and then hopefully that will stop it happening again. But yeah, really sorry about that. I don't know how bad it was, to be honest. I'll have to watch later and probably cringe, but I've gone over a little bit, so hopefully you'll enjoy this in beautiful, crisp 25 frames per second for a change. But that's it. Thank you very much. I better thank once again whoever's sent some super chats. So let me get those up. But for now, once again, I've got them up already. Thanks ever so much for watching. It really is lovely to have your company as always. And again, if you like the stream, let me know in the comments. If you've got any ideas for what themes I should do in the future, at this point I haven't decided what I'm doing next week. So if you've got any good ideas, do get down there in the comments afterwards and let me know. But today then, the thank yous are to not War Hero, he was last time, Michael Alfred, David Smith, Mark 2E0PIA, RWS Baden, that's Rich, War Hero, and Jake Darling. You got Jake Darling, I wasn't calling you Darling, that's his name. Yeah, those are the people that have saved me today. Thank you ever so much for that. Very, very kind of you. And just know that you're doing your bit to help keep me in business, keep this channel going, and that's fantastic. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the running session today. I've shown you 6 of probably actually my favourite pre-grouping locos, although that isn't them. There's some of them. Especially that Dean Goods. I know it might not be a very accurate model, but I love it. So hope you enjoyed seeing those. That was my first live running session. I don't know how it went. I think it would have gone better if the technology had have sort of behaved itself at the start, and that put me off a little bit. But I think it went all right in the end, and you know, after that break when I restarted the router, it's been a lot better. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna just have a little quick look. Hades R01 says he can't believe he missed it. Well, don't worry, he didn't miss too much because the internet was playing up for the first 20 minutes or so, and that was a bit of a nightmare to say the least. So sorry about that. GMX Gamer, so sad to say goodbye. I know, I've been looking forward to it all week. I've been a bit like I've been a bit dead all week, just sort of waiting for this, which is sad, of course. But yeah, I've been really excited about this all week. So I'm glad to hear that there was someone else that felt the same. That was cool. Mark Horner is putting some emojis. Thanks for those. James Pearson, well, until next time. Yep, until next time. Earth Geography, don't end. Well, I've got to end because I'm hungry. You've got to be hungry as well. I'm hungry. BR Diesels for next week, says Intercity 125125. Yeah, that might be nice. I think someone last week was asking for diesels as well. It might be you as well. So, yeah, that was cool. Yep, the LMS Ginty, great show, Sam. Thank you very much. I don't think it was a great show, to be honest. It went a little bit kaput to start with, but hopefully it picked up a bit from then. So thank you all for being so supportive, and thank you for those who stayed even though that it was lagging like a nightmare. Hopefully that won't happen next week. Of course, I can't make any guarantees. I can't control what the internet does, but touch wood. Let's touch some wood, everybody. Hopefully it will be okay, and you know, you live and learn, don't you? So thank you all for watching, much appreciated. Lovely to have your company as always, and I've got 3 more videos coming up before the next stream. But if you're only interested in streams, that means I'll see you next week, and back here hopefully at 5 o'clock on Friday. Hope you enjoyed it. My voice is starting to go, so I will leave it there. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow if you want to watch the video, or next week on the stream live. So thank you all for watching, folks. You're brilliant, you're the best, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers, everybody. Well, that is the end of today's stream, but if you would like to see some more of Sam's Trains live, don't forget to pop back next Friday at the same time, 5 PM UK time. And in the meantime, if you've got anything you'd like me to do during the next stream, or if you've got any topics you'd like me to discuss, please do let me have those before next week. But for now, thank you once again for your company, and I will see you all back here very, very soon.